This is London.
Hello there wrestling fans, welcome to LDN Capital TV right here on the Fight Network. I'm Fiona Fox, and after the excitement of last week's 100th episode extravaganza, there's no rest for the wicked. We're right back at it, bringing you the very best wrestling from around the UK. This week we're proud to bring you 3 matches featuring some of the top ranked talent anywhere in the country, some of the best up and comers in the sport, and an appearance by a World of Sport legend or two. Gentleman John Ritchie takes on the returning veteran Barry Cooper. Danny Garnell will face tag team specialist and LDN Academy standout Travis. And in what's sure to be a blistering main event, 2 heavy hitters go at it as Chris Wilde takes on the superstar Leroy Kincaid. All that plus the latest news and backstage gossip from the London Eye. So let's head down to ringside and join the man who calls the matches, Mr. TV, John Atkins.
Hello fans, and welcome once again to LDN Capital TV right here on the Fight Network. The longest running wrestling show since the days of the World of Sport, and indeed the only British wrestling show currently on TV anywhere in the world today. You are seeing it right here, and you're going to see the very best of British wrestling right here on the Fight Network here tonight, making his way to the ring, a man who was recently announced as the #1 contender to the LDN British Championship, Danny Garnell. A man who has really come into his own over the last 12 months or so. And if he can ever put all the pieces together, he has got a big, big future ahead of him here in LDN. Some people would say it's only his attitude that lets him down. Nonetheless, it hasn't seemed to hold him back too far. And tonight, he is taking on Travis, one of the top stars of the LDN Academy, and a tag team specialist. Going it alone tonight because his tag team partner Hakan is in training with Yorgos for a big tag team ladder match against Nagasaki. Exciting times here in LDN, and exciting times for Travis, who is really having a blast here on Capital TV. But he is going to have his hands full tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first contest of the evening is a catchweight contest made over 30 minutes. Introducing to you on my right in the blue corner from Fleetwood, Hampshire, a rising star. Please say hello to Travis.
A rising star is absolutely right.
And on my left in the red corner, ladies and gentlemen, from Leeds, South London, the bad boy of wrestling, Danny Garnell. Your referee for this contest, ladies and gentlemen, from Wales, Mr. Chris Roberts. Thank you.
And Chris Roberts, the official. Thank you to our ring announcer, Frank Reimer. And what a matchup this is going to be. A real challenge here for Alan Lee Travis. Since graduating from the LDN Academy, he has spent a lot of time in tag team competitions with his young partner Hakan. and comparatively less time in singles action. And he is going up here tonight against a former #1 contender to the LDN British Championship. And I would say this is probably going to be his toughest challenge to date, certainly as a singles wrestler. But what a great attitude he has got. He has been praised in the LDN Academy for having a real never say die attitude. Not just that, but a real attitude of making the most of opportunities, of not backing down, of really making the most of every chance that he gets. And when the chance for this singles match up here came up to wrestle this week on Capital TV, Alan Lee Travis jumped at the chance. He'd love to score a big win over Danny Garnell here tonight. Just imagine what a name he'd make for himself. Garnell already up to his old tricks, claiming Travis was pulling the hair. He absolutely categorically was not pulling the hair. Garnell's barely got any hair to pull. Leg scissors there from Danny Garnell, just immobilizing Alan Lee Travis. Travis looking for a way out. He might not be able to break the hold, but he's edging closer to that bottom rope. If he can just slide underneath it, and he does finally, those long legs paying some dividends here. As I said, Travis not able to counter the hold, but he was able to just transfer the weight of his body towards the bottom rope, just edged Garnell a little bit nearer to the side of the ring, and he was able to break the hold that way. And that was showing experience beyond his years. Collar and elbow tie-up. Garnell gets the better of that exchange. Brings Travis down to the mat. And fans, what a show we have got for you this week. Fresh off the back of our 100-week extravaganza, we have got some great matches for you here this evening. Big flying dropkick there from Garnell. Coming up next, we have got Gentleman John Ritchie taking on the World of Sport legend Barry Cooper, and Chris Wyld taking on the superstar Leroy Kincaid. Always exciting to see Leroy Kincaid in action. We look forward to that match very much indeed. And Travis, one of the most fast-paced young men I've seen here in LDN for a long time. He wrestles at a mile a minute. But sometimes it might do him a favour to slow down just a little bit, and to his credit, that seems to be exactly what he is trying to do. Just slow the match down. Sometimes his youthful exuberance gets the better of him. And when you're out there in the ring, the fans chanting your name, getting right behind you, it can be very tempting. It really gets the adrenaline flowing, and it can be tempting to speed things up a bit. But when you wrestle a quick game, you tend to make mistakes. And indeed, that is exactly what happened. He left himself open. Garnell with a thumb to the eye and a scoop slam. And that has slowed Alan Lee Travis right down. He has removed the protective band from around his elbow. And without that elbow pad, Alan Lee Travis finds himself very vulnerable indeed. Because Garnell, like a shark that smells blood, goes right after that elbow. And some big blows to the midsection as well. And he receives a public warning, rightly so. Blatant closed fists. And it's a good call by referee Chris Roberts. The senior LDN official, probably the #1 referee in the whole of the country. That's one way of getting your opponent out of the ropes, not one I necessarily approve of. Oh, and a low blow there, very blatant. Temporarily distracted Chris Roberts, but I think Roberts knows exactly what happened. Travis putting the brakes on, turned things around. He is looking to out-wrestle Danny Garnell. Goes in deep for that arm drag. Garnell in the corner, Travis facing him. Misses a clothesline, comes off, and gets caught with a European uppercut. And Garnell showing absolutely no respect whatsoever for his opponent. Just walking over him like he was nothing, and he is going over to that turnbuckle and removing the protective padding while the referee is tied up with Alan Lee Travis. Whips him into the corner, and he lands hard in the exposed turnbuckles. Flesh meeting steel, and Garnell continuing to lay on the punishment.
These are dangerous days.
And that was a dastardly move there by Danny Garnell. And he received a stern warning there from Chris Roberts, but I don't think Roberts can prove that it was Garnell that removed the padding, which is still exposed. Again, right back to that exposed elbow. Going up top now. We don't see Garnell go off the ropes very often. Might be a mistake. Certainly not known for his high-flying ability. And it didn't pay dividends that time. He spent far too much time climbing up that rope. And Travis able to get his wits about him to some extent at least. Hits a clothesline. And a second one. And a beautiful standing drop kick sends Garnell finally to the outside. Just corners him there, right in the corner. Puts the brakes on, misses the exposed turnbuckle, and it's just as well he did, because that could have put him out for good. Instead, he finds himself going up top, but Garnell already back up to his feet. Travis has to think fast, and he does. Flying cross body, hooks the arms. A lateral press, but still just a 2 count. And I hope Travis isn't running out of ideas. Oh, it's a roll-up there from Garnell. And a sneaky little roll-up gets a 2. Travis still very much in this one. Whips Garnell across the ring. Garnell ducks a clothesline but gets caught in midair. Hoisted over the shoulder into a full-away slam. And again another 2 count there from Travis, who is getting quite frustrated now. Oh, a big blow there. A closed fist. And a second public warning, but a swinging net breaker from Garnell. Brought about solely because of that closed fist, knocking the wind out of Travis. Hooks the arms into a backbreaker. Could get a submission. Travis is saying no, and so Garnell just dumps him onto the mat for the cover, and that should be all. And he gets it. A win here for Garnell over the young Alan Lee Travis. Travis never quit, he kept on fighting till the very end. But when it came down to it, it was the experience and the power of Garnell. And there's no way out of that one. 1, 2, 3, the cover was academic, Travis was out for the count, and he wasn't going anywhere. After that backbreaker, a big win here for Danny Garnell. And up next, Gentleman John Ritchie versus Barry Cooper.
may remember that a couple of weeks ago I stole the Sword of Excellence from Kendo Nagasaki. Now I know for a fact that Kendo Nagasaki wants that sword back. So if he wants that sword back, how about he comes and gets it himself? In a match that he created in 1973, a ladder match. What I'm challenging you, Kendo, is you and a partner of your choice face me and my partner Hakan in a tag team tornado match, and we'll hang the Sword of Excellence from the ceiling, saying, if you want it, come and get it.
Kendo Nagasaki, we've been training, so if you want that Sword of Excellence back, why don't you come and meet us in Hanley on the 20th of September.
Butler, and his personal valet over here, amateur wrestling champion Barry Ryan.
Amateur wrestling.
And his opponent on my left in the red corner, the true World of Sport legend from Brighton in Sussex. Give a huge welcome to Mr. Barry Cooper. Your referee for this contest, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Bobby Stafford.
It'll be very interesting to see these two square off. They have had a rivalry actually dating back over several years. Well, this has got to be a first. I have seen cornermen with buckets of water and bottles of water. I've never seen them bring their own champagne flutes to the ring. He's drinking from a commemorative glass goblet by the looks of things. I guess they always say about class, you either got it or you haven't, but with John Ritchie, I'm not sure what to say. One thing's for sure with John Ritchie about referee Bob Stafford is going to have his hands full. Well, the bell goes there for the first round of this. And Ritchie still in his corner, talking to his corner man, Barry Ryan, an amateur wrestling champion, and also his personal butler, Ponsonby. And what you'll see here in this first round is that Barry Cooper is in no rush to get into any kind of a skirmish with John Ritchie. He is going to lull Ritchie into a full sense of security and then take full advantage. He knows Ritchie very well. Ritchie is going to come out of the bell fighting and trying to annoy Barry Cooper, trying to anger him into making a mistake. Cooper has got to stick to a game plan and not be put off course by the extracurricular activities of John Ritchie. Nonetheless, Ritchie tying up the head of Cooper and nicely escaped there. Oh, the shoulders were down, nearly got a 3 count in the first round. Ritchie, I think, only realised that in the nick of time. Well, I think everyone in the building would like Barry Cooper to do that, but I don't think he'd want to risk a disqualification at this stage in the match. Ritchie requesting a public warning, but he didn't actually go ahead with the move, and no public warning going to be issued there by Bob Stafford. Rightly so, a very good call. And Bob Stafford not intimidated in any way by the former British champion. As well he shouldn't be. One of the great things about LDN, as well as the fantastic wrestling action we bring you each and every week, we have got the best officials in the country as well. Bob Stafford, recently the recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award here on Capital TV. Very well deserved as well. Oh my, a kick to the buttocks there in an attempt to break that ankle lock, and that does it nicely. Ritchie somewhat caught off guard by that reversal. And the bell rings. And in comes Ponsonby. And Barry Ryan there to serve. Well, this really takes the biscuit, quite frankly, fans. Where's the bucket and sponge? This is a cut above.
These are dangerous days.
Real silver service here from Ponsonby and Ryan. And meanwhile in the corner of Cooper. Oh my! He just sent Ponsonby flying. I hope there's no broken glass about the ring, actually, but nonetheless, well deserved there, and a nice move from Barry Cooper. And the bell has rung for the second round. But John Ritchie obviously not happy about being humiliated there by Barry Cooper in the rest period. Well, Ritchie saying the bell might have rung, but he didn't have a chance to drink anything because Cooper knocked the glass out of his hands, and I suppose by his own twisted logic, that's fair enough. But it's more mind games by Ritchie, more trying to psych out Barry Cooper. But Cooper, as we've said, is a respected veteran of the sport, and it's going to take a lot more than mind games to throw him off his game. But Ritchie can back it up in the ring as well. And we are seeing here, back to that ankle. Cooper doing his best to power out. Finally breaks the hold. Back up to his knees. The score 0-0 in this, the second round. And Ritchie clearly hoping for another rest period. Oh my, his own tricks used against him. Cooper this time offering out the hand of friendship. And we have seen John Ritchie offer that same hand on many occasions. Always with that result. I don't know why he thought it would be any different if Barry Cooper offered his hand. Nonetheless, a taste of his own medicine there for Gentleman John. And Barry Cooper doing well not to get riled in the face of the antics of John Ritchie. Oh, and he gets caught a second time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And shame on you, John Ritchie, bailing to the outside. And I think he is shocked at the pace that Barry Cooper is wrestling here tonight. Both men contemporaries of the sport. But John Ritchie has been more active in recent years than Barry Cooper. Well, hold on just a second. I don't think the end of the round... I don't think the bell's rung just yet. When will he learn? When will John Ritchie learn? There's the bell for the end of the round, but Ritchie's already taken his rest period, and we're going to go straight back into this. 3 rounds in now. This is round 3. The score's still 0-0. And Ritchie with a sneaky blow to the left leg. And as I was saying, both men contemporaries of the sport, but in recent years, John Ritchie has been far more active than Barry Cooper. And I think Ritchie was surprised at just how in shape Cooper appears to be. And that is why he's taken him out with a big flying drop kick. And that sneaky boot to the left leg at the start of the round. Oh, leg drop across the neck and throat. And that might be enough to score a fall in the 3rd round. Clothesline sends Barry Cooper flying. And fans, don't forget, we have got coming up later tonight a cracking main event. Chris Wyld, one half of the LDN Tag Team Champions, is taking on superstar Leroy Kincaid in what is sure to be an explosive battle. Last time we saw Leroy Kincaid, he was in a match that went all the way around the Winter Gardens in Margate. A theatre-wide battle, but here's a cover there from John Ritchie. That could be all. And he does it. 1 fall to John Ritchie in round 3. Right on the halfway mark of this bout. The first fall there going to gentleman John Ritchie. And a celebratory goblet of water. For Ritchie, and that's a blow for Barry Cooper, who up until that point had been able to ignore or counteract many of the histrionics of John Ritchie. And Bob Stafford not happy about the glassware being brought into the ring by John Ritchie. The referee, of course, with the safety of the wrestlers foremost in his mind. Cooper rather more humble than gentleman John, but you can only push the man so far. Round 4, the 2 men lock up. A headlock from John Ritchie. Closed fists and a European uppercut. We have seen Ritchie do that on a number of occasions. He uses his own body to shield his actions from the referee for the closed fist, then turns right back around for the perfectly legal European uppercut. Each maneuver highly effective. Cooper puts the brakes on, reverses, this time sending Ritchie up top. Oh, and Ritchie crotches himself on the middle rope there. Obviously not as young as he once was. And Cooper follows up with a well-timed atomic drop. And that is highly inappropriate behaviour there from Ponsonby. Going above and beyond the call of the butler, in my opinion. I'm not sure what good a towel is going to do, unless it's wrapped in ice, which it doesn't appear to be. Oh, and Cooper now having some fun with the bottle of water. And the wetter the better as far as John Ritchie is concerned. He is not happy at all. He has had somewhat of an accident here. Oh, and he lands hard on the steel tray as well, that he brought into the ring to serve drinks off of. And a headbutt to the groin area.
That's a public referee. Why did you turn up? You idiot!
And what a mess of the ring John Ritchie has made there. Nonetheless, still leading 1-0, John Ritchie. And I think he's going to need rather more than a towel if he wants to dry himself off. He needs to rifle through the lost property basket, get himself some spare kit. And hold on just a second, I think Ponsonby just planted something in the knee pad of John Ritchie. We got a pretty good shot of it here with the LDN cameramen. He definitely put something, and I didn't get a good look at what it was. But John Ritchie has certainly got something right in that knee pad. Nonetheless, Cooper comes out fighting, and a big standing dropkick knocks Ritchie off his feet at the start of round 5. Oh, and a low blow! A low blow cuts off Barry Cooper. And a second and final public warning to John Ritchie. And we saw he was just landing some heavy knees to the back of Barry Cooper. Indeed it was a loaded knee pad with what looked like a steel weight. And that is a very dangerous thing indeed, very dangerous action indeed by John Ritchie. Coming down with the full force, not just of his own body, but an added steel weight to the lower spine of Cooper. And a European uppercut knocks Cooper out cold. And I'm not so sure Cooper will be able to continue in this one. 5 rounds into this matchup, John Ritchie 1 fall ahead, and with the use of a loaded knee pad, maybe moments away from scoring the winning fall. And Cooper getting rather more than he bargained for here tonight. Cooper catches a clothesline coming off the ropes. And a big kick to the ribs as well. Hit again with a second clothesline off the ropes. And Ritchie now obviously looking to finish his opponent. I think he said he's out, ref. And he just might be right. Nonetheless, Cooper makes his way back up to his feet. Ritchie looks for a slam and he can't get it. And Cooper going for a slam of his own, but he's overpowered. Ritchie unable to hold the shoulders down for 3. Five rounds in out of a 6-round match. And Cooper looks to be in trouble. Sweating profusely. And now having his eyes unceremoniously raked along the top rope. And Ritchie, I believe, has already received 2 public warnings. He really needs to be careful here. He ought to be on his best behaviour. Nonetheless, the bell rings. Oh, it's a good job the referee didn't see that.
These are dangerous days.
And we are just seconds away now from the final round of the match. Ritchie leading 1-0. 5 rounds in, 1 round remaining, and there is the bell for the 6th and final round. And it's been a back and forth contest, but Ritchie with the lead. Cooper, I guess, looking to tie things up. And Ritchie, unsurprisingly, not in any hurry at all to get this one underway. He'd be more than happy with a 1-0 victory here tonight. And Cooper, I would have thought, might be rather more aggressive coming out of this one, hoping at least to salvage a draw, I would have thought. Blow to the gut, elbow to the back, knee to the side. We all know what his name is. Big clothesline there from John Ritchie. Going again for the scoop slam, but gets caught in an inside cradle. And an equalising fall in round 6. But hold on just a second. The hand was on the bottom rope, apparently. And that fall is not going to be allowed. But Stafford suspects that Barry Ryan may have had a hand in that, as do I. But the matchup continues, and Ritchie continues punishing Barry Cooper. Knees to the back. Ritchie went for that scoop slam, and again they are loading that knee pad. Oh, and a big kick to the back with the loaded knee. And this matchup has really degenerated. As we saw moments ago, Ritchie went for a scoop slam. It was countered into an inside cradle by Barry Cooper. Cooper had the shoulders down for 3, but somehow, by fair means or foul, Ritchie managed to get a hand to the bottom rope. The matchup continued, and with the use of a loaded knee pad, John Ritchie gets a submission. Take a look at this. Rolls him up, pulls him back for that Boston Crab. And after 6 rounds of punishment, there's just nowhere Barry Cooper can go.
Hello fans, Fiona Fox here, and it's time once again for another London Eye, the only place to go to find out what's happening in the weird and wonderful world of LDN. Firstly, we have news about an old face returning to LDN, but with a new name. Sources close to the Bombay Dream, Ross Jordan, indicate that the frustrated flyweight has spent the last several months travelling around India, visiting a number of his relatives and embracing his roots. We've not seen Jordan in LDN for quite a while, but we're led to believe he'll be returning soon, possibly under the guidance of one of these family members, and more likely than not using his family name of Singh. From what we hear, Jordan has been increasingly frustrated that he's never won singles gold in LDN, but believes that with the help of his family he can finally make a name for himself in LDN and be the pride of Indians everywhere. We look forward to seeing Jordan's return, but hope that along with his name change comes an attitude change. Last time we saw him, Jordan's ego was so large, other wrestlers were heard to say that if it got any bigger, it would need its own locker room. In other news, we are still unsure of the status of the tag team champions Chris Wilde and Danny Williams. Since winning the titles from Project Future several months ago, they've defended them only a handful of times, and each time Williams has seemed reluctant to even get into the ring. From what we've heard recently, the pair have even taken to travelling separately to shows and barely talk with each other before matches. While Chris Wilde seems to have gained an insatiable appetite for in-ring competition since winning his first LDN gold, our locker room spies tell us that it's as if Danny Williams doesn't even want to be here anymore. And talking of Chris Wilde, he has yet another singles match coming up in our main event shortly, this time against the superstar Leroy Kincaid. We'll be back with you for more news and gossip in the London Eye next week.
Introducing to you on my left, from here in Maidstone, the one and only Chris Wilde. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Mr. Leroy Kincaid.
Okay fans, what a main event we have got for you here this evening on this week's edition of LDN Capital TV. Referee for the bout, Chris Roberts. The matchup is Leroy Kincaid, as you can see him on your screen right there. And what a great shot that is. What an intense individual Leroy Kincaid is. And he is taking on one half of the LDN Tag Team Champions, Chris Wilde. The bell rings and these two men don't waste any time at all getting down to action. And Leroy Kincaid quickly gets the upper hand. And it is clear Chris Wilde is a big, strong man, but he looks to be outweighed by Leroy Kincaid by at least 1.5 stones, maybe more. Kincaid now taking Wilde down to the mat. And these two men haven't stopped for breath since the bell rang. And what a match we are seeing. What a main event here on Capital TV, fans. Chris Wilde, one half of the LDN Tag Team Champions. And one has to wonder why he has been taking on so many singles dates of late. I've heard rumours or word at least that Danny Williams, his tag team partner, has not been so willing to put the gold belts on the line, but that is unsubstantiated rumour at best at the moment. Nonetheless, Chris Wilde set for singles competition here and indeed next week on Capital TV, where he is set to face Danny Garnell. So a busy time for the tag team champion, but not necessarily in tag team action. Nonetheless, he has got his work cut out for him here tonight against the superstar Leroy Kincaid. Kincaid breaks out of the side headlock. Wilde holds onto the ropes, and Kincaid sent flying to the outside, where he lands on his feet. Kincaid has been a virtually unstoppable monster since he entered the ranks of LDN just a couple of short months ago. No one will ever forget the incredible building-wide brawl that he had with Danny Garnell just a few weeks ago here on Capital TV. He also demolished Ross Jordan months ago. And in fact, I believe he is still undefeated here in LDN. Chris Wilde looking for an escape. Gets a reversal, goes behind. Kincaid now looking for a way out. And this is a great back and forth matchup between two hard-hitting heavyweights. And you will only see action like it here on Capital TV and exclusively right here on the Fight Network. What a matchup we are seeing. LDN Capital TV, of course, brings you the very best British wrestling action throughout the United Kingdom, and Chris Wilde goes down hard. Leapfrog from Wilde, and just chops Kincaid in the throat with a clothesline. Just clipped him a little higher than normal, and that seemed to knock the taste out of Kincaid's mouth. But he was ready for that one, and catches Chris Wilde, and just brings him down hard, right on the base of his spine, on the tailbone of Chris Wilde. And this may just be the beginning of the end for Wilde, who gets planted into the mat. There's a cover, that should be all. And did he get it? No, very close. Very close indeed. Wilde just managed to get that left shoulder up in the very nick of time. 2 7/8 if it was a day. Oh, Wilde out of the way in the nick of time. And Kincaid hit the turnbuckle hard. Wilde now up top. Beautiful missile dropkick. And this is a very evenly paced matchup. And another 2 count. Very few men have been able to stand up to Kincaid as well as Chris Wilde is doing. And this one really could go either way at this stage in the battle. Reversal there from Kincaid, and this time he sends Wilde to the outside, and Chris Wilde does not land on his feet. That looked like a nasty tumble for Chris Wilde. And Kincaid follows him to the outside. Unbelievable. Right over the top rope. And Chris Wilde now in a heap of trouble. And he wants to get back in the ring very, very quickly. Because as we saw in the matchup with Danny Garnell, Leroy Kincaid is absolutely at home fighting outside the ring. He is a street fighter at heart. And outside of the ring, he is in his element. And Chris Wilde is fighting for survival here. But he gets clotheslined back to the floor. Both men now down on the outside. And our referee, presumably making the 10 count. He's trying to get these 2 men back in the ring. He knows the fans here want to see a winner. But he can only give so much leniency. Both men back in, but I think Chris Wilde is hurt. He might not be able to continue for very long. He has got to do whatever he can to take Leroy Kincaid down, and he does. And you can see that battle tolls taking the toll on the body of Chris Wilde. He looks like he has got a huge bruise on that left elbow. And I suspect that might be among the least of his injuries. Belly to belly, attempted, blocked, and Kincaid hits one of his own. What a powerful man this Leroy Kincaid is. Ducks a clothesline from Wyld. Oh my goodness, what a spear. He just speared him out of his boots, and that has to be all. The legs are hooked, the shoulders are down, and the 1, 2, 3. It is all over. What a win for the undefeated superstar Leroy Kincaid. What power from that individual. Take a look at the replay. Comes flying out of the ropes and just launched his entire body right in the midsection of Chris Wilde. Wilde may have broken a couple of ribs here. But a great sporting contest. And he is helping up Chris Wilde now. And that is a lovely display of sportsmanship. Absolutely fantastic. That is what British wrestling is all about, ladies and gentlemen. What a great match.